I never imagined my life would feel this lonely with a house full of people. My name is Jessica Morgan. I'm a 45-year-old single mom, and I've been raising my son, Ethan, ever since his father walked out when he was 6. At first, it was just survival. Then it was routine. But over the last year, it started feeling like I was living in a shadow, invisible to the world, and sometimes even to Ethan. I never resented him. He's my heartbeat. But like most teenagers, he had his world, and I was just orbiting around it. It had been a rough few months. My job as a middle school administrative assistant was hanging by a thread after the school faced district-wide budget cuts. I started picking up extra shifts at the local diner in the evenings. I barely slept. Bills piled up. My body ached all the time. And through all of it, I kept smiling. Because I'm a mom, and that's what moms do. Ethan had just turned 17 and was focused on his senior year, football games, friends, planning for college. He was a good kid, kind-hearted and respectful, but like most boys his age, oblivious to the silent battles his mother was fighting behind closed doors. That Saturday morning, I remember it clearly. I was in the kitchen, trying to scrub an old stain out of Ethan's football jersey. I hadn't even had my coffee. My back was screaming from the double shift I'd pulled the night before, and I could feel tears prickling in my eyes. The washing machine had stopped working 3 days ago, and I couldn't afford to fix it. My hands were raw from scrubbing, and the house was a mess. I hadn't washed my hair in days. I felt like I was falling apart. And that's when Ethan walked in. He was still in his pajamas, rubbing sleep out of his eyes, and for the first time in what felt like years, he looked at me, really looked at me. "Mom," he said softly, stepping closer. "Are you okay?" I tried to smile, brushing my hair behind my ears. "Of course, honey. Just trying to get your jersey clean before the game." But my voice cracked. I didn't mean to cry. I hadn't cried in front of Ethan since he was little. But in that moment, the mask slipped. He walked over, took the sponge out of my hand, and set it in the sink. "Why didn't you tell me things were this bad?" I shook my head. "You have enough to worry about, Ethan. I don't want you to carry my burdens." He looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time. "You've been carrying everything alone, haven't you?" I couldn't even speak. I just nodded, covering my face with my hands. He didn't say a word. He just hugged me, really hugged me, the way he hadn't since he was a child. And that hug, as simple as it was, shattered the walls I'd built around myself. In that moment, I realized that my son, my sweet boy, had grown into a man. That afternoon, something changed in our home. Ethan didn't go to his game. He helped me clean the house, fix the broken shelves, and even tried to figure out what was wrong with the washing machine by watching YouTube tutorials. He burned dinner that night, but it didn't matter. We sat down together for the first time in weeks and just talked. "I want to help, Mom," he said, looking me square in the eyes. "Not because I feel guilty, because I love you, and I'm old enough now to understand." Over the next few days, Ethan stepped up in ways I never expected. He took a part-time job at the hardware store after school. He started cooking dinner twice a week. He even helped me set up an online side hustle selling custom gift baskets, something I'd always dreamed about but never had time to pursue. Our relationship transformed. We weren't just mother and son anymore. We were teammates, partners. He started coming to me not just for permission or money, but for advice. And I stopped hiding the hard stuff from him. I realized that protecting him from reality wasn't the same as preparing him for it. One evening, about a month after that morning in the kitchen, Ethan sat down beside me on the porch steps. "You know," he said, "I used to think you were just doing okay, like you had it handled. But I had no idea how strong you really are until I saw it with my own eyes." I laughed softly. "Strong is just another word for surviving." "No," he said. "It's more than that. It's choosing to keep going, even when no one notices."
You taught me that.
Tears welled in my eyes again, but this time they were different. They weren't born of exhaustion or defeat. They were the tears of a mother who finally felt seen, not just as a caretaker or background figure, but as a human being. And they were because of my son. A few weeks later, Ethan came home with a framed photo of us from his 8th birthday. We were laughing, cake smeared across our faces, arms wrapped around each other. "I'm taking this to college with me," he said. "So, I never forget what really matters." I hugged him, squeezing him tighter than I ever had. "Thank you for seeing me, Ethan. Not just now, but for everything you're becoming." When he walked across the stage at graduation, I clapped and cheered with all the other parents. But deep inside, I knew that the real graduation happened the day he saw me struggling in the kitchen. That was the day my son became a man. That was the day our relationship changed forever. Life is still hard. The bills don't magically disappear. The washing machine only works half the time. But I'm not alone anymore. And that makes all the difference. We talk every day now, even when he's away at college. He sends me photos of his meals, sometimes burnt, sometimes perfectly golden, just to make me laugh. And every Sunday we video call and cook together, me from my little kitchen at home and him from his cramped dorm. I used to think being a good mom meant shielding him from the struggles. Now I know it's about showing him how to face them, with grace, resilience, and honesty. And because of that moment, because he saw me struggling and chose to step in with love instead of judgment, we became closer than we'd ever been.
He didn't save me.
But he reminded me that I didn't have to fight alone anymore. That moment changed everything.